The Nasdaq Stock Exchange has filed with the SEC to list Bitcoin index options, and they have a plan to boost crypto adoption. And Bitwise Asset Management makes another huge acquisition, which is going to further expand their crypto services, as Russia is getting ready to use crypto for international payments next week, and a Solana Restaking protocol gets $80 million in funding. We're going to break this down and much more. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, you got some very big news from one of the major players on Wall Street. So here's the headline. Nasdaq seeks SEC approval for Bitcoin index options, aims to boost crypto market maturity. That's a big statement. They aim to boost crypto market maturity. And we're seeing all of Wall Street, all the big banks are getting involved. They're launching financial products. They're tokenizing. So it's no surprise that Nasdaq is doing this. Let me give you the details. Nasdaq, in collaboration with CF Benchmarks, has filed with the SEC to list and trade the Nasdaq Bitcoin Index Options XBTX. If approved, this new product will offer investors a sophisticated tool to manage and hedge their Bitcoin investments through options, which the Nasdaq said will further the maturity and liquidity of the asset class. Wow, folks, I am so bullish and so excited. I know the prices right now don't reflect that. And I know Bitcoin has pulled back. It's currently like at 59,000 or whatever it may be. And I told you guys before, the major run up that's going to come in the latter half of September, Bitcoin may retest the lows again, which I think it's doing. That's fine. We are still on track. But the big players like the Nasdaq don't care about these small volatile moves. They're looking at the macro, and that is we are going to higher highs. We are seeing higher highs and higher lows, and we have not entered the parabolic phase of this bull market yet. And all of Wall Street is here. As mentioned, we got ETFs, tokenization, and much more, and new financial products are being built. If you don't understand what's happening here, then you are completely missing the mark. You're too caught up in the micro of, oh no, the price just went down today. Okay. But what happens when you zoom out on the chart? The price is up, right? And you have to understand what's being built, the infrastructure that's being set up and so forth. But this is very big news. Here's some more big news. Bitwise Bitcoin ETF to acquire the assets from Osprey Bitcoin Trust. So Bitwise Asset Management has their own Bitcoin ETF, ETH ETF, and even before these ETFs were launched, they had index funds and much more around crypto. And I've had Matt Hogan, the Chief Investment Officer at Bitwise, on the pod many times. So let me give you the details here. Osprey Bitcoin Trust, Obtc, sponsor Osprey Funds, has entered an agreement with the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF and Bitwise Asset Management, in which BitB, which is the ticker symbol of Bitwise's Bitcoin ETF, will acquire all of the Obtc Fund's assets. The move comes after Osprey noted that it was considering a potential sale or merger with a Bitcoin ETF amid other strategic maneuvers in March of this year. Osprey had until September 1st, 2024 to complete the sale or merger, or else it would have liquidated Obtc. Here's a quote. As part of the transition, Obtc unit holders will receive shares of BitB as part of a liquidating distribution of Obtc. For example, BitB holders, there will be no change to their shares or any changes to the operation of BitB, Osprey Funds wrote in a Tuesday release. BitB's acquisition of Obtc follows Bitwise's acquisition of London-based crypto exchange traded products issuer ETC Group on August 19th. Big moves by the folks at Bitwise. I will have Matt Hogan of Bitwise Asset Management back on the pod very soon to talk about this. These are smart moves they're making, increasing their market share, and not only in the United States, but globally as well. So big move here. Now, guys, as we've had a lot of volatility and the market has pulled back, we've got data here from CryptoQuant that Ethereum whales have accumulated more than 200,000 ETH over the last 4 days. That's approximately $516 million. So whales are buying up. We see the ETF inflows have increased despite the volatility. And I think everybody sees what's on the horizon. Fed rate cuts, money printing, global liquidities on the rise. So we're entering the easy money cycle, and we're going to see as rates start getting cut, a lot of the money that's stuck in money market accounts and that are earning high interest are going to move their cash and money out of there because you're not getting the same level of return. You want to go risk on and put it into risk assets and make your return. So there's going to be a lot of liquidity coming into these asset class, folks, and not just crypto, but of course the stock market. We are still in a macro bull market for real estate, crypto, and stocks. So I'm very bullish despite what's happening in the micro here. Now we got news from Donald Trump today. He released his new official Trump trading cards on Bitcoin ordinals. And this is not the first go around he's been doing this. Now I could care less about this stuff. If you're a Trump fan and you like it, go for it. What I care about is the adoption that a presidential candidate, a former president, is taking the technology and building with it, right? He's using it for NFTs. He's going to be launching a new DeFi project, I guess, pretty soon. We saw some information from him and his sons. And I'm actually very optimistic about that, but I could care less about these Trump cards. The other factor that I tweeted about today is, will SEC Chair Gary Gensler go after Donald Trump about these, right? Saying, oh, these NFTs are securities offerings. Remember, that's what they think. I don't think NFTs are securities offerings. It's like comic books or baseball cards and so forth. But Gary's a scumbag, so you never know. And we've seen the SEC go after NFT projects like Stoner Cats and others. So let's see. I don't think this is a fight Gary wants to pick. But then Gary may want to get some revenge for Donald Trump saying he would fire him from the first day of the Bitcoin conference. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, we got news that Russia is going to start using crypto for international transactions next week. This is big, folks, and this has nothing to do with, if you love or hate Russia. That's not the point. The point is adoption, the change of the guard here, the new technology getting penetration in all parts of society and life, and it's here to stay. It's not going away. The genie's out the bottle, and there's no putting it back in. So I'm going to wait for final confirmation for this to go live next week, and we can see, if possible, some of the wallet addresses and transactions and so forth. But this is pretty big news. We got news that Solana restaking protocol Solayer reaches $80 million valuation with $12 million seed funding round. So, of course, with Solana, you can stake your tokens. That's really great. You can earn passive income. I'm not too sure about the whole restaking idea. There have been people that are saying this is kind of risky. I need to research it a bit more. I'm not fully educated on this, but once I have more details, I'll definitely share with you guys. But earlier this month, Binance Labs said it had invested in Solayer, and the co-founder Rachel Xu says that the firm's investment is part of the same $12 million seed round. Last month, Solayer also announced a pre-seed funding round of undisclosed size from angel investors, including Solana co-founder Anatoly and Polygon co-founder Sandeep Naywal. So interesting. And like I said, don't know too much about restaking. Heard there's some risks, but I could be wrong, and I'm going to try to research this a bit more. All right, speaking of Solana, the folks at Robinhood, specifically Johan Kerberat, who's the crypto general manager at Robinhood, tweeted out, super excited to announce that the Solana network is now live on the Robinhood wallet. Starting today, you can self-custody Solana tokens and send and receive over the Solana blockchain. Now, I'll be interviewing Johan pretty soon, guys. I'm really looking forward to this interview because it's Robinhood, right? And they've got a lot of customers, they've got a lot of capital and resources to build incredible things, and they're going all in on crypto. And of course they are, because it's the new asset class and everybody wants to share. So this is pretty big, and Solana continues to get adoption. Now, we got some news here that tokenization pioneer Centrifuge unveils a leading market with Morpho Coinbase. The institutional real-world asset lending market combines Coinbase's Layer 2 network, Base, and Morpho Vaults using 3 varieties of tokenized treasury bills. So, folks, what we're seeing is tokenization on the rise, the adoption of tokenization, and we're seeing different blockchains being used. Ethereum, here you got Coinbase's Base, which is the layer 2 on Ethereum. Stellar Lumens is getting adoption as well. So really big. So the market will allow for the collateralization of the borrowing against centrifuges Anemoy Fund tokenized T-bills from Midas and Hashnote's US Yield Coin. It's the first time a permissioned lending market will use Ethereum-powered Coinbase verifications. The aim is to provide instant liquidity without having to actually redeem the underlying T-bill. Folks, I often make this statement, but it's just to make sure this lands. Do you see what's happening? This is the future, as I've been talking to you guys for years. The token economy, everything running on the blockchains, even the TradFi assets like stocks, bonds, and so forth will be tokenized on the blockchain. And game theory is playing out here. There's a race. Clearly, BlackRock wants to rule the market in all aspects, ETFs, tokenization, and their tokenized fund hit over $500 million recently. So big things coming. And speaking of BlackRock, Aave Labs proposes integrating GHO stability module with BlackRock's Buidl. Aave Labs has introduced a temperature check proposal to update the GHO stability module to manage its stablecoin system more efficiently by integrating Buidl, the tokenized fund from BlackRock that represents traditional assets like cash and US Treasury bills. This contract enables the conversion of two tokens at a predetermined ratio. Aave Labs proposes to build a new instance of GSM that supports external integrations and related control mechanisms, specifically supporting BlackRock's Buidl. The team wrote on the proposal, GSM exists to secure Aave's native stablecoin GHO's one-to-one convertibility with another asset, Aave explained. So folks, with what BlackRock's doing, you're seeing these other ecosystems looking to integrate with BlackRock. And of course, right, it's BlackRock and they got a lot of resources, a lot of capital. So this is pretty smart of them to do this. And it's a sign of what's to come. Now, speaking of BlackRock, guys, I'm introducing a new type of content to the podcast, and it will be specifically on YouTube and X. It's video content, it's micro documentaries. It will feature specific topics and it will be in documentary format. And the first will be From Skeptic to Believer, BlackRock's Larry Fink embrace of Bitcoin and crypto. So how Larry Fink essentially went from skeptic to becoming a bull and now a major promoter of crypto. So I will be sharing that pretty soon, guys. I'm waiting for people to get back from the holidays, summer to be over. So this should come very soon, maybe next week. And you don't want to miss these. I'll be doing them once per month, and you guys can suggest topics and so forth. But I put a lot of work into this, so I think you guys will like it, and it will help spread the message of crypto and what's happening, guys, especially when you have big players like this, getting involved. So bullish times are ahead. Buy the dips where possible, not financial advice. Of course, that's what I'm doing. I'm dollar cost averaging, buy the dips. So in full transparency, no BS. I bought some Bitcoin. I bought some Solana and ETH in this dip. I felt like I wanted to top off my portfolio a bit on those top three, just because, they have a lot of visibility, liquidity, and so forth. Don't get me wrong. I hold other coins like XRP. I hold AVAX, Cardano, and so forth, Algorand, VeChain as well. I am very bullish and I'm practicing what I'm preaching, and I'm expecting fireworks come this latter half of September into Q4, and we will start to see the markets rip, guys. So exciting times ahead. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, Uphold, which is one of the top cryptocurrency exchanges that you can buy Bitcoin and all the altcoins. They have 260 plus cryptocurrencies. Link will be in the description. Also, be sure to sign up for my free email newsletter on Substack. It's 100% free. And grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto. It's available on Amazon in paperback and digital. You can buy a copy to support the podcast. Buy a few copies for your friends and family who want to learn about crypto. If you bought a copy already, please leave a 5-star rating and review. It would really help me out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.